Hi, thanks for joining me today. So this video sequence is going to go through some yoga poses to help improve our posture. We have a tendency with our tech society to kind of get in this slumped over position, working on our looking at our phones or working on our computers, or even when we're driving. A lot of the tasks that we do give us the habit of slouching forward. The other thing that this can affect is your energy level. Your spine is your energy transport through your body, and when it has a kink in the hose, if we're sitting with the head forward, then our energy level can go down. So hopefully these poses will help to give you a little bit more opening for the body, nice length in the spine, and a little bit more energy. So the first and most important thing is that we have a nice alignment while we're seated. So if you have something to sit up on, I have a folded up blanket here that's nice and firm. You can also use a firm cushion or even a few towels stacked up. But the important thing is to get your hips up onto the edge of that blanket so we get out of this slumping that we tend to go into. So if you lean a little forward, you can kind of draw the flesh of your bum away from the sit bones to find that nice connection with whatever you're seated on, and think of a length in your spine. Think of the sternum lifting up, think of the collarbones being nice and wide, and imagine that there's a thread or a string attached to the top of your head, the crown of your head, and it's lengthening you up towards the ceiling, the sky, wherever you are. But just find that nice length in the spine first. Palms can rest comfortably on the thighs, up or down, whatever feels best for you. But just take a few moments to find that position. Close the eyes and notice if you feel like you're leaning a little forward or a little back, and maybe even tip a little forward and tip a little back on your sit bones, and then find that balance point, just kind of readjusting to make the spine a little bit more aligned, a little bit more vertical. Notice your breathing. We always want to have a steady flow of breath as we're moving through our yoga practice. So just notice your breath moving in and out of the nose. And then very gently, you can keep the eyes closed or the eyes can be open, your option. But we're going to take a nice long inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, just gently tuck your chin down towards your collarbones. Now this does not mean let your head drop forward. That's that tech neck that we're trying to get away from. Just think of gently dropping the chin towards the collarbones, just feeling a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Almost give yourself a double chin. And then inhale and bring the gaze back to neutral. And then once again, exhale, just think of tucking the chin towards the chest, or feeling that stretch in the back of the neck, maybe even down the shoulders, between the shoulders. And then inhale, come back up. Now this time, again, same thing, tuck the chin towards the collarbones, and then just very gently let the right ear roll towards the right shoulder. You feel a little stretch on the left side of the neck. And then come back through center, again, just tucking the chin towards the collarbones, not letting the head fall forward. And then let that chin gently roll over towards the left as you think of rolling that left ear towards the left shoulder. And then come back again to center, and then lift the gaze back up. And again, let the eyes open this time if you have kept the eyes closed. Nice deep inhale, and this time gently rotate the head to the right, just looking as far as you can comfortably to the right. Feel the stretch in the neck. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, gently rotate and turn the head to the left. Again, keeping the head aligned right over the spine. And then back to center. And now bring the fingertips out beside you. Nice length from a distance from the body. And then inhale, reaching through the fingertips, float the arms all the way up and overhead, still thinking of keeping that nice alignment in the spine. And then exhale, turn the palms down, float the arms back down. Good, one more time like that. Inhale. Full inhale in through the nose, and then full exhale back out through the nose. So we're going to do that once more, a little different for the ending. So inhale, float the arms again all the way up. And then this time, as you exhale, bring the hands behind you. So a couple options here. Just rest the fingertips on the mat behind you, feeling that openness across the chest and the collarbones. Again, getting out of the slumped position that we have a tendency to be in. Next variation could be to take hold of opposite elbows and open up through the front of the chest, or even clasp the hands behind, interlacing the fingers. Elbows will be a little bent since you have that blanket or cushion there that you're resting the knuckles on, but again, nice opening through the front of the body. So whichever feels best for you. Again, maybe fingertips wide, nice opening through the front of the chest. Keep that breathing going. Inhaling and exhaling, thinking opening up through the heart. Good. And then come back to neutral, float the arms again all the way up and overhead. Neutral position for the spine, again, lengthening up through the crown of the head, and then release the hands down. Good. So we're going to come off of whatever we're seated on, just move that out of the way. Come to table pose, come to all fours. So same thing here, when we align up in this neutral position for the spine, we want to think of the crown of the head reaching forward, the tip of the tailbone reaching back. So we don't want to let the head collapse down. Now, at some point in a moment, we're going to move through that intentionally, but as you set up the alignment of your spine, press into the tops of the feet, lengthen through the crown of the head, press away from the yoga mat with your hands. Again, wrists are right underneath the shoulders, knees are right underneath the hips. Think of drawing the lowest ribs towards the hips, so we're keeping that nice alignment in the spine. And then for a little warm up for the spine, as you take your next exhale, round the spine up towards the ceiling, arching the back, take the gaze towards the belly button. Feel that nice stretch from the tip of the tailbone to the base of the skull. And then inhale, send the sit bones back, lengthen the front of the body, take the gaze forward and up into our cow pose, feeling that nice extension through the spine. So keep that going a few more times. Exhaling, rounding into a cat pose, nice flexion for the spine. And then inhale, sending those sit bones back, lengthening the front of the body, gaze forward and up into our extension. Good. One more time. Exhaling and inhale. And then this time as you exhale, come back to neutral, back to your table pose. And now bring the hands just in front of the shoulders. Press into the fingertips, base of the knuckles, curl the toes under, lift your knees a couple inches off the mat, and then keeping the knees bent, send your sit bones up and back. Find that nice alignment again for your spine. So keep the knees bent as much as you need to, taking the pressure off the hamstrings so you keep that nice length in your lower back. Press into the fingertips, base of the knuckles, crown of the head reaching towards the fingertips, and the sit bones reaching up and back, making that nice long line again with the spine. And then release the knees down to the mat and curl the toes. Exhale, fold all the way back to child pose just for a breath. Hips towards the heels, forehead to the mat. And then pressing into the hands, lift the head slightly, and we're going to come all the way onto our belly. So as you come down, we're going to land with the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Forearms are parallel with each other. And if you reach for opposite elbows, you should just be able to bring your top two knuckles to the outside edges of the elbows, so the elbows aren't too far out or too close in. So find that nice alignment, and then pivoting on the elbows, bring the forearms back out. Press into the tops of the feet, draw the shoulder blades together. Imagine that you're trying to bring the shoulder blades all the way to meet the spine. They're not going to get there, but it's going to give you that nice stretch again through the front of the body, getting out of that slumped position that we go throughout our day. So really press into the feet, energy in the legs. You may even feel the kneecaps lift a little bit off the mat. Imagine that you're drawing your elbows down towards your hips, so you're getting that nice opening through the front of the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Now press into the hands, just release the elbows out to the side, lower all the way down, bring your arms out into a T position on the mat, on the floor. Let your forehead either rest on the mat or turn your head to one side, letting the ear rest down. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale, and then switch to the other side, turn the head the opposite direction. Again, another little release for the neck. Inhale and exhale. Now bring the forehead back to the mat. This time bring your hands beside your chest, hug your elbows in towards your ribs, press into the tops of the feet, forehead to the mat. As you press into the tops of the feet, begin to think of sending your chin towards your collarbones, and begin to lift up the head and the upper chest, lengthening the crown of the head forward. So we're not pushing ourselves up with our hands. We're lifting ourselves up with the muscles in the upper back. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, low cobra pose here, and exhale. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Once again, bring those arms all the way out to the side. Let everything release. Turn the head to one side. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. And then turn the head the opposite direction and take a breath. Inhale and exhale. And then bring the forehead again back to the mat. So this time we're going to bring the hands down by our side, palms to the mat, forehead to the mat, press into the tops of the feet, draw the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift the head and the neck just like you did earlier. If it feels okay, you can lift the legs too. The hands are going to stay on the mat. Another option here you can do, another variation, is keep the toes on the mat, interlace those fingers behind you as you did earlier when we were seated, if you did that variation of locust pose. Again, nice opening through the front of the body. So again, your hands can be down on the mat, or you can interlace the fingers, reaching down towards the tailbone. And then slowly again, lower everything down. This time, bring your hands right beside the chest again. Press into the hands, come up to table pose. And as you're in your table pose, we're gonna find that nice length in the spine again, this time with the plank pose. So extend your right leg back, press through the heel, bring the left leg back to meet the right, lengthen through the crown of the head, draw those lowest ribs up. If that's too much for your lower back, just keep your knees down to the mat or bring your knees down to the mat. You can still have that nice alignment in the spine. Inhale and exhale. And then from there, send those sit bones up and back. Come to your downward facing dog. You can bend those knees once again. Again, we're talking more about alignment of the spine today rather than stretching out through the hamstrings. So keep that nice bend in the knees. Inhale and exhale. And then really bend your knees and walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Come to a standing forward bend. Take hold of opposite elbows. Just let the crown of the head dangle down. Now we're going to let everything go here. Inhale and exhale. And then bringing the hands to the fronts of the ankles. Draw the lower belly in, lengthen through the crown of the head, and slowly walk your hands up the legs. Keep that nice length in the spine, coming all the way up to a mountain pose. Once you come up to mountain pose, have the feet hip distance apart. So think of that same alignment that you found seated. So we have that nice length in the spine, this time growing it all the way from the feet. So think of lifting the inner arch of the feet and the kneecaps, the sternum's lifting, the crown of the head is reaching up, arms down by your side. Inhale again, the arms all the way up and overhead. And then exhale, release the hands down behind you, interlace the fingers. So again, you can either have palms together or maybe squaring off the wrist here, or even hold on to opposite elbows. So different options there, but just think of that opening again across the front of the chest. Imagine you're drawing the shoulder blades towards the spine. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, gently rotate your gaze to the right, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate the gaze to the left and back to center. Inhale, float the arms all the way up and overhead. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Press into the palms. As you press the palms together, again, think of drawing those shoulder blades towards the spine, drawing the shoulders down the back. Inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, just gently let the arms release down by your side. Close the eyes. Take a breath or two. Inhale. And exhale, just notice how you feel, and notice if your posture feels any different, any more length in your spine. And then very gently, as you're ready, let the eyes open. So thank you so much for joining me today. That, again, is a short sequence that you can do to really open up through the front of the body. Again, getting out of that slumped position that we go through throughout our day. And as I mentioned in the beginning, when we have that better alignment of the spine, then we have a better movement of energy through our body. So if you're feeling a little tired and run down, that aligning the spine can help you. So thanks so much. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. I have information about my website and my class offerings in the description below. So I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks. Bye-bye.